Hello, this is Prejean with a Passport. Walk with me while I share things I've learned in Montevideo on my walk to the grocery store. And at the end, I'll show you their grocery prices. Keep in mind that the tax is included in the prices you see. Please leave a comment to where you are and how much you're paying. Well, we're almost done with our stay here in Montevideo, Uruguay. And I thought I'd show you the beach area. I haven't been out to the beach much. I've walked around the Rambla, La Rambla. It's about 13.5 miles. No, I will not be taking you on that 13-mile stretch walking tour. My toe's starting to feel better, but it's still not 100%. We've got some swimmers out this morning. It's a nice overcast day. Our temperatures have been averaging about 73 to 85. And only 2 days of rain. It's very pleasant, and I'll begin my walking tour with you right in front of the United States Embassy. Remember, Montevideo is a capital city, and so there are many embassies here. Here, our embassy has the flag at half-staff in recognition of our late President Jimmy Carter. It is at half-staff, as it should be. And I'll begin our walking tour. Gonna try to get some groceries today. There's a couple of grocery stores we've been going to. The first one that we arrived at was called Tata, and then we found another one that was called Frog. And the last one, which seems to be our favorite, is called Disco. And Disco is located near the German embassy. Now, as I'm noticing in many cities in our slow travel so far, the tagging or graffiti is there. It's not so bad here. Italy seems to have the worst so far. You know what? I don't think it denotes for me a bad area. It just, for me, it kind of lessens the place. It's kind of, I read this on Instagram one day. It was, you don't put a bumper sticker on a Bentley. And I just kind of go with that. It's just not my thing. Now, we've noticed less graffiti and tagging if they're doing street art. They seem to leave the street art alone, which is beautiful. People here take pride in their city. I've never seen so many people cleaning so much. Windows. I mean, they're on ladders, and these are the employees of the hotel that we're staying at, and just walking about, you're seeing how much pride they take in cleaning up. Not that it's dirty, you know, any big city is going to have that, but they're cleaning. I mean, even the staff of McDonald's, you notice when they're not taking orders, they're cleaning windows and wiping down walls. And the staff of McDonald's here do have a designated uniform with the little McDonald's emblem on their pants. And they're wearing hairnets. Every employee is wearing a hairnet. We've also noticed that there's not a lot of, well, any leaf blowers. They're doing leaf cleanup and trash cleanup with brooms and the little kind of sweep up hands that you can sweep things into. Also, when I was in the emergency room, in the ER waiting area, they were vacuuming, but not with an electric vacuum. It was the kind of stick vacuum manual that you would do like for the 60s and 70s, which I thought was really cool. I want to break free. They're taking a very cool environmental stance on not always needing electricity to get things done and do it like it used to. And you can take pride in your city when you're doing that. Here's a little area where I've seen some people just kind of coming out to just kind of sunbathe on pretty days. I don't know if you can read that, but no lies detected. No tagging. It's just so pretty. Also, we've seen people mopping, but not with a typical water mop. It's more like a floor squeegee, and then you tie on like a cloth, and then you mop with that. And then you just take it off and wash it, which seems a little bit more environmentally friendly, not always having to throw away mop heads. Speaking of environmentally friendly, side note, we were trying to find laundry detergent that just wasn't scented. And so we were on a scavenger hunt looking for different laundry detergents using Google Translate. And our search came up empty, but what I've discovered is a lot of these detergents are in bags instead of these bottles. And when you stop and think about it, when you're done with your Tide bottle, that's still taking up the same amount of room in your trash can if it were empty or full. The weight's different, but when the bag is empty, it lies flat. That's kind of cool. Also, one of the things I found is there seems to be like an 18% tax back when I'm using my credit card. It's an incentive, I guess, for tourists. Paying with a credit card. The price, let's just say it's X dollars. When my credit card comes back, sometimes, like at Starbucks and a particular couple of restaurants, the bill comes in and it's less than the original price. And that's because they put the tax into the price for everyone. And then by using a foreign credit card, it seems to come back less. One of the other neat little things I've noticed when first arriving in South America was the water going down a drain spins the other direction, which I had never seen that before because I don't know, I just never paid attention to that until you see it and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna go ahead and cross the street here and then we'll head over to the German embassy where a disco is so I can do a little grocery shopping. Now there is a very lively culture here. They're very polite. They love their drink, which is a South American drink called mate. I might be mispronouncing that. It's usually like a cup with a metal-looking straw and then a thermos with very hot water that they carry around, pouring that in. It's prevalent everywhere we go, but you see it more on the weekends when people are off and they're out at parks, sitting around the beach area and visiting with friends. It seems to be caffeinated. I haven't tried it. It's not my thing that I want to try to do. I'm not saying it's addictive. I'm just saying that it seems to be in a lot of places, a lot of people. They even make a little kit that you can buy to carry your hot water bottle to keep the water hot in your tea. I think the funniest part was, you know, if you've got your left hand has your mate cup and under your left arm you've got your thermos and your right hand on the steering wheel and you're driving that way, I don't know, that just seems like don't drink and drive. Haircuts here. You know, in my previous video I had mentioned that I thought things were a little pricey. Some things can be, it seems, on many imports, probably due to tariffs. But for things like haircuts, I was paying $45 for a flat top. It took him a full hour, and he was the best flat top I've ever received from someone. And that was a $45 charge without tip. It took a full hour. Here, I paid a little over $6 without tip. My mother got her hair done. I'm not quite sure what she was paying in Louisiana and Palm Springs, but without the tip, it was a little over $22 for a ladies' cut. Very affordable. Also, another cultural thing that we found were the drums. Now, we have stayed, I believe, at 4 places over our 46 days here in Uruguay. The first Airbnb didn't quite make it because of the water leaking, and we were out. Bounced to an Airbnb, another Airbnb, and then another, and then finally in a hotel. However, when we were at the first, second, and third Airbnb, the drums, which were ironically coming back from this area, which I'm at Germany, and there's disco. The drums were cultural. I think it originated mostly from the African people that were brought over, but they're loud, and they're not exactly starting in the afternoon. So at each of those Airbnbs, we heard them well into the night. And I like to get my sleep early, so I was waking up with the drums.
The rhythm, the drums, the pounding.
The fanning yourself with a palm between rounds.
Either it's off season or it's a different route, but we're not hearing the drums. So I'm gonna go ahead and cross the street. I've seen a lot of electric taxi cabs, a lot of electric buses. I've found some very inventive ways to charge your electric vehicle here. As a resident, rather than using the pay pumps out in the city that might be used. So I'm going to go into disco. I need to do a little grocery shopping. This is Prezon with a Passport. Thank you for watching. I'm going to try to get some prices in the grocery store and see how that goes.